Hello, everybody. This is your daily real estate practice exam question, and I want to give you one that I think is really simple. But because of the fact that we're going to be learning agency law from various different textbooks, and I know different instructors have different ways of explaining it, this one might be a little complicated. So let's take a look at the question, okay? One of the agent's fiduciary duties, one of the agent's fiduciary duties that continues even after a listing agreement expires is so one of the fiduciary duties that is going to still hold after a listing agreement has expired. Let's look at this. So first one answers A, obedience. No, they're not going to have to be obedient because they have had the listing agreement expire. So the agency relationship is basically there's no reason for the agent to be obedient. Same token, there is absolutely no reason for the agent to be diligent. Okay, because there's nothing that they're going to be asked to do and to perform that there would be diligence required. So even if, and here's the thing, some of you might be looking at this and saying, hey, those aren't what I learned because I learned a cold or old car. And I teach a cold as your fiduciary duties: accounting, care, obedience, loyalty, and disclosure. But here's the thing, a lot of these right here are going to be synonyms for words that you're finding right here, okay? So let's look at the last two, confidentiality and disclosure. So we've already knocked off A and B as far as obedience and diligence. Don't need them. So let's look at disclosure. Now, since we're not working with them any longer, do we have to disclose to them anything? No, there's no obligation there, right? So that is definitely going to be no. However, confidentiality, meaning if there's something that there's absolutely no legal obligation for you as a listing agent to disclose to someone, okay, then what happens is there should not be the disclosure of that information. You should not be using that to the detriment of the person who was once your client. Let me give you an example. Happened at my office, actually, one of my agents. They had a listing. It expired. They then had a buyer for that listing. So they knew the seller's bottom line price. Could they use that information for their new client, the buyer? The answer to that is no. And here's the thing, you would sit there and go, well, confidentiality is not what I learned in either a cold or old car or any of the, or cold, whatever you might want to use as your fiduciary duties to remember, whatever acronym you're using, whatever vernacular, okay? But loyalty, in regards to how I read it, loyalty is a synonym for that of confidentiality. If there is loyalty, there should be confidentiality with some information. So, in regards to how I teach fiduciary duties, and in regards to how I remember them, as far as I always say that when you have an agency relationship with someone, you are very close to them and you are very likely to catch a cold. So I use that: accounting, care, obedience, loyalty, and disclosure. However, again, synonyms for one another in regards to how I read it, loyalty and confidentiality would be the same. And I would say that that again, given the circumstances that I gave you with the example I used, I would choose C. That's the right answer. Guys, hope you have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow. Remember, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you tomorrow.